It's not just being banned from Twitter or something. As we've seen, these companies can act, they can collude, they can deny you, if you're a small business, of payment processing. This provides protections for individual Floridians, and I think it'll be very positively received.
Ron DeSantis going after big tech in a big way tonight. The governor of Florida proposing legislative measures in his state to guard against, for example, the deplatforming of certain political candidates. Let's talk tonight about the breaking news with KTTH Seattle Talk Radio host Jason Rantz and townhall.com political editor Guy Benson. Welcome to you both.
Hey, Shannon.
Hey, Shannon.
Here's a little bit more about what the bill would do. The Orlando Sentinel says the bill would target big tech's influence on elections. Companies that remove a candidate for office from their platform would receive a $100,000 fine each day until the candidate's access is restored. Guy, he ain't playing if this thing gets passed.
Look, I think there are some people who would question that there's even a problem here. And I know some people trotted out an NYU study in the last few days saying, oh, there's no bias whatsoever against conservatives. That's just right-wing fever dream stuff. I would point them no further than the New York Post story that was widely suppressed and censored leading up to the election about Hunter Biden, which was just sort of outrageous. I think really underscored the problem here. The challenge is, what do you do about it? What is the government's role in rectifying an issue that involves private companies, but sort of the virtual modern public square? And while I have great respect for Governor DeSantis, and I like a lot of what he's done, I think the devil's going to be in the details, because there will be constitutional and First Amendment and free speech questions here about the appropriate role of government, and conservatives, I think, have to grapple with that.
And Jason, he said it's not just about things like Twitter kicking off people they don't like or hiding stories like Guy mentioned with regard to Hunter Biden right before the election. He said it's these payment companies and other things that can hurt your business, your ability to get a loan or process payments. There are other ways they can come after people they don't like.
Yeah, look, I think Guy is right in the sense that conservatives have to figure out how far we're willing to go. But at the same time, we have these companies that are taking advantage of the fact that the government is granting them a whole host of different privileges. We're giving them protections, the ability to exert monopoly power, the Section 230 protections. And if they're going to take advantage of that to destroy businesses on the basis of content that they simply don't like, in a way where enforcement is very clearly not content neutral, I do think they're begging for the federal government to get a little bit more involved and decide whether or not they should be allowed to just have carte blanche authority to do things like that. When we've basically put our entire lives and a good portion of our democracy online, and we've given them this kind of power, if they're not going to wield it or yield it in a way that is responsible, there does need to be some reasonable oversight. The question is, what is that bar? And that's what conservatives and, frankly, Democrats also have to figure out.
And that may be done via legislation. And we're looking to a lot of things here in D.C. right now about whether the two sides can get together on any one thing. The man who is at a center of a lot of these conversations right now is Senator Joe Manchin. And he's been talking about bipartisanship and trying to get things done and not going to extremes, which some of the Democratic Party is not happy to hear him talking about. Now, Mark Thiessen had an interesting piece in the Washington Post saying it's up to Manchin to make Biden live up to his promise of unity. It says the administration has been trying to strong-arm Manchin into backing the Biden plan. This is this $2 trillion plan. Last week, the vice president appeared on local West Virginia television and interviewed. The White House requested to pressure Manchin. It backfired. Manchin slammed Harris. Guy, there's a lot of pressure on him. It may not work the way Democrats are hoping, at least not the far left wing.
No, what an unforced error by Vice President Harris. And once again, her, I would say, very dubious political instincts have struck. This was an early test for her as vice president, and it really didn't turn out very well because she showed up in his backyard to try to strong-arm him, frankly, giving interviews in his state, no heads up, no advance warning that she was going to do that, no conversation, and he was clearly ticked off about it. He was on Special Report earlier with Brett Baer, and you could see him bristle a little bit, even asked about it. He's like, yes, it was a big mistake that they did that. And so if you want to get your agenda passed, and you're the Biden administration in a 50-50 Senate with one or two utterly crucial swing votes, alienating one of them needlessly in week 2 seems like a really dumb early move, but that's what the vice president did, and now they're in damage control mode with Senator Manchin.
Quick final comment, Jason.
Yeah, I am curious as to what Senator Manchin's going to do. He is either the most powerful person right now in Washington, or he's going to just succumb after taking some good pieces of the narrative from the media for the next couple days. Will he be the guy who wrote a statement yesterday indicating he might just go along with the White House, or will he be the senator who spoke to Bret Baier today? Hopefully, from a conservative perspective, I'm hoping he's the guy who spoke to Bret Baier today.
We'll see which version ends up voting. Jason and Guy, thank you both.
Thank you.